also I have recently cracked the offer from Morgan Stanley.
You are the only one who got selected for this offer from your college.
USP for which I think I was being selected is the HLD round, which was my second round of interview. I'll talk about it later. Then again, of course, I joined your program. Then I basically realized, okay, this is the structure, how you actually learn DSA. That played a very pivotal role in my entire preparation. And the second round, it had 3 DSA questions, and they were completely relevant to lead code and code force style. Basically, approximately there were 100 to 110 students for the OA round, and then 6 people were selected for the interview. And then I was the only one to get the offer.
Also, one quick question, Ronak. Were you using the same resume that we were, working upon?
Yes. I submitted my application with that resume itself. Yeah.
Got it. Hello everyone, welcome to InterviewCall.club. So today we have with us one of our alumnus, Rounak, who has recently got an offer from Morgan Stanley. So today we have him with us, and we also have a surprise by the end of the podcast. So stay tuned for that. So Rounak, over to you. I would like to know about you a bit. Can you introduce yourself to the audience right now?
Thank you for the introduction. So my name is Rounak Goswami, and I am currently in the final year pursuing Bachelor's of Technology from Motilal Nehru National Institute of Technology, Allahabad. So my basic background is from MERN Stack itself. Basically, I have done web development in MERN Stack, and apart from that, I have done DSA through various standard platforms like the Lead Code and Code Forces, and also I have recently cracked the 6 months internship offer from Morgan Stanley. So that's the gist about me.
Ronak, I got to know from you that you are the only one who got selected for this offer from your college. So, how does that make you feel, and why exactly do you feel you were the one who were selected among all these students who applied for this company? Because Morgan Stanley is definitely a very big company.
Yeah.
It's one of the main companies right there in the market. So, how do you feel about that? Do you feel special that you were the one who got selected for this out of all those competitions in your college?
Yeah, so of course it's a very special feeling, very proud feeling rather. But I think from my point of view, the USP for which I think I was being selected is the HLD round, which was my second round of interview. I'll talk about it later, but I think that's the point which decided my selection overall in the company.
Got it. So
Yeah.
HLD is pretty important right now in the interview rounds of different companies.
Yes. Basically, HLD, like the design rounds of the, like for a fresher, it's the basic design concepts that are being asked, and they are pretty important. They kind of become one of the criteria to select a candidate right now.
Right. So even in my times in 2022, when I was setting for different companies, I got asked LLD from Uber only. Other than that, no man companies asked LLD or HLD during my time. Also, if I talk about startups in 2022, they used to focus a lot on LLD, but as usual not on HLD. But right now in 2024 the market has changed, the
Yes.
competition has increased, and once again they are trying to introduce new things into the entire interview process so that they can filter out the best of the candidates, because once again everyone is doing DSA, everyone is doing development, but
Definitely.
these are the differentiating factors right now. So Ronak, I would love to know about your college life. So you are from Kolkata, you
Yes.
went to a college in different states.
Yes.
So what made you choose that specific college? Also, how was your journey in college in the first, second, and third year till you got this mega offer from the college? So can you tell us a little bit about that?
So basically, among all the NITs that are present, I mean, NIT Allahabad, of course, has a great placement record throughout the last decade itself, and it has been a among all the NITs, it has been one of the top always in every year, no matter what the market situation is. So that was the I mean, I would like to say the most important criteria for me choosing the college. Apart from that, in my college life, like I started coding from the first year itself, but that was a very slow progress. That was not a fast paced or like that was not a smooth progress. I was figuring out how to proceed with one thing, how to proceed with one topic from another topic. And so basically, that was my college journey. Then again, of course, I joined your program later in this year only, like in the starting of the year. Then I basically realized, okay, this is the structure, how you actually learn DSA, how you actually like the topics. Everyone knows the
Right.
topics. It's actually available everywhere in the internet, but there is a structure, there is a proper way how to study the DSA.
The
The
sequence.
sequence, exactly, the sequence. So that's very important. I think that played a very pivotal role in my entire preparation. Like I used to do practice questions, but I used to practice only the standard questions, I would say.
Right.
But nowadays the market has completely changed. There are non-standard questions. Of course there are non-standard questions, but there are questions which requires a lot of practice
Mhm.
to handle.
Mhm.
So basically that the course actually helped me to guide through the entire structure.
Mhm.
So basically it like helped me in this way.
Got it.
Yeah.
So, Ronak, I would like to know a bit on the online assessment of
Hmm.
Morgan Stanley.
Hmm.
Like, how exactly the process happened, and what type of questions you were asked in online assessment, and did it have any correlation with, Lead Code, Code Forces, or CodeShift like platforms?
Hmm. Hmm.
Like the questions asked in those platforms, did something like that happen in your Morgan Stanley OA as well?
Definitely, definitely. So basically, since Morgan Stanley has a banking background,
Right.
so basically the first round was an aptitude round.
Mm-hmm.
I think it had 35 questions overall, and the second round it had three DSA questions, and they were completely relevant to
Mm-hmm.
lead code and code force style. Basically, the three were basically like the problem statements we are given in code forces
Mm-hmm.
contests, a story based, right? So the three questions first was based on LRU cache,
Mm-hmm.
the second one was on priority queue,
Mm-hmm.
and the third one was typically on the difficult side, that
Mm-hmm.
was on the directed Euler path
Acha.
problem. So these three were the things that were in my way.
Got it.
Yeah.
So these were like pretty competitive questions,
Yes, yes,
right?
definitely, definitely. Like, see, the LRU cache itself
Mm-hmm.
has a hard
Right.
rating in lead code.
Right.
So basically, they were much on the competitive
Mm-hmm.
programming side.
Mm-hmm. Also, did you practice any of these questions? Like, as well, like there are platforms where you get to know the questions that are being asked in different companies in the last few months or few years.
Hmm.
So, did you practice something like that before setting for these interviews? Or, as you said, the third question was a variation. It's not a common
No,
question,
yeah,
right?
yeah,
So how
definitely.
did you actually approach these type of questions? How did you actually prepare for these type of questions without actually practicing them prior?
Yes. So basically, what the main focus for practicing DSA is, definitely number one is contests.
Right.
You go to any platform, just give the contest. That should be the utmost priority,
Mm-hmm.
because first there are two things. First of all, you feel the time pressure.
Mm-hmm.
That's very very important during the OAs. That plays a very, and you feel the pressure also, like the pressure to solve the question within the given time limit.
Right.
That actually helps a lot,
Mm-hmm.
the contest. Also
Mm-hmm.
upsolving is very important. Even if you can't do the question, even if you like attempted but still can't do the question, or even if you miss the question,
Mm-hmm.
upsolving is very important.
Mm-hmm.
So basically for DSA, like the OA round, the
Mm-hmm.
online assessment round, it's very important for to participate in the contests.
Mm-hmm.
And as you said, that the third question was not a standard one,
Mm-hmm.
but basically that's the point right now in the market, that you have to practice a lot, so that even a slight variation, you can crack the slight variation
Mm-hmm.
in that pressurized environment.
Mm-hmm.
So that actually requires a lot of practice.
Right. It's
Yes.
more about knowing the algorithm and then
Yes.
using it
Yes,
effectively.
definitely. Because Euler path is like a standard question, but
Hmm.
in directed graph, that's an unstandard one.
Right.
Yes. So basically, you have to practice, and then it ultimately you have to train your mind how
Hmm.
to tackle new questions,
Hmm.
and that comes through contests only.
Hmm.
That's
Got it.
the main point. Like,
Got it. So, Ronak, one thing, like you applied for Morgan Stanley
hmm,
when it came to your college.
hmm.
Uh, you also said that you were the one who got selected after all the rigorous interviews, and you tell that the HLD is the major,
Yes,
reason for being
yes, yes,
selected.
yes.
So, I would like to know, Ronak, how many people, sat for the Morgan Stanley drive
Okay.
approximately?
Yes. So basically, approximately there were 100 to 110 students
Mm-hmm.
for the OA round,
Mm-hmm.
and then six people were selected for the interview,
Mm-hmm.
and then I was the only one to get the offer from
Got
the
it.
interview.
Got
Yeah.
it. So, Ronak, one thing I want to ask, like,
Hmm.
even being selected for OA in
Hmm.
some companies
Hmm.
is tough right now,
Yes.
right?
Hmm.
So, even if it's not for on campus, even
Hmm.
if you're applying off campus,
Hmm.
it's pretty tough to be even selected for that OA or get that OA link, right? So, what do you think is the major factor a student should work upon to get interview calls? Is it the resume, or is it just the practice that they are doing? So if someone is doing DSA, if someone is doing development on regular basis, can that thing only get them interview calls, or should they be also giving time on their resume? Because as you know, resume plays a important role in the entire procedure. So what's your thought, what's your viewpoint on resumes and resume tailoring, using the right resume format? What's your view on that? Does it actually help or not?
It definitely helps. It definitely helps, and it is worth spending spending your time on tailoring your resume according to the job description. But there's also one point, like basically whenever the startups generally post a very detailed job description
Hmm.
whenever they post, but the big MNCs, they don't clearly specify what team they are hiring for
Right.
or what role they are hiring for.
Hmm.
In that case, you should pick the keywords from
Hmm.
there and just tailor your resume
Hmm.
according to it.
Hmm.
And of course, resume tailoring is very important, because
Hmm.
getting the OA link is much more important than clearing the OA. Like, it
Hmm.
is the basic step, it's step
Hmm.
zero, basically
Right.
getting the OA link. And to get that, you have to tailor the resume properly
Hmm.
according to the keywords specified in the job description. Basically, in case of a startup, it becomes quite easy because you have the team, like they are looking for this role or
Right.
this
Hmm.
responsibilities. But for big MNCs, you just pick the small keywords that are
Hmm.
there
Hmm.
and just add it in your resume and tailor it and just submit it. That's
Right.
it.
Right.
Yeah.
So basically, in case of startups, they are very much specific with their requirements.
Hmm.
So the person who is applying for that job gets to know exactly what they require, and if that matches with their particular skill set.
Hmm.
If
Hmm.
that
Hmm.
matches, they can easily get the interview call
Hmm.
because that is what the company requires, right?
Yes.
But in case of big companies,
Hmm.
MNCs, as you said, Morgan Stanley, Goldman Sachs, Microsoft, Google, Uber, these type of companies, specifically for the fresher roles, they
Hmm.
don't state explicitly which team are hiring in the backend. So
Exactly.
if you don't get to know the team that is hiring, let's say there are 10, 12 teams, but you exactly are not sure which exact team is hiring, so that's going to be a lot of problem for you. So you have to invest your time into finding that team, or maybe at least get some hint of what team might be hiring for this particular role, and then you, if you are applying, then there's pretty high chance that you are getting the going to get the interview call, right?
Hmm.
So, Ronak, I would like to know about your interview process.
Yes.
We have talked about online assessment.
Hmm.
Now, let's talk about the interview process. What exactly were the rounds in your interview? Was it typical DSA round, or was it, as you said, it's a banking company,
Hmm.
so there
Hmm.
can be aptitude,
Hmm.
logical reasoning,
Hmm. Hmm.
and even I would like to know were there any mathematical, statistical questions or not? Because these are very common type of questions, common genre of questions that are being asked in these companies. So what exactly was the interview process, the on-site process after the online assessment was over?
Yes. So basically, first of all, for in my case, like for all the candidates, Morgan Stanley didn't actually ask any mathematics based or aptitude based questions,
Hmm.
but it's equally important to learn puzzles.
Mm-hmm.
It's equally like you just go and search for the top 100 or top 50 puzzles
Mm-hmm.
and just study it prior to your interview.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, my experience was there were two rounds. The first round was basically a DSA round, not proper DSA round. Basically, my interview began with a question on OOPS,
Mm-hmm.
then followed by DSA,
Mm-hmm.
and then they moved on to Java.
Mm-hmm.
For the viewers, I don't have a background in Java, but they still insisted to ask me. But basically, they were not looking for the correct answer. They were looking for the correct approach
Mm-hmm.
or the mindset with what you are answering the question.
Mm-hmm.
So basically, because I mean, their stack is completely based on Java. The
Mm-hmm.
primary teams or the primary
Right.
stack is they are based on Java. So they asked me, but I wasn't sure about the answers, but I approached it,
Mm-hmm.
and I think that's what they were looking for. In fact, they actually gave me the feedback
Mm-hmm.
in the end that we were not looking for the correct answer, but
Mm-hmm.
we are looking for how you approach the question.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that becomes very important. That
Mm-hmm.
don't remain silent in the interview, right? You
Mm-hmm.
answer with whatever you think you know,
Mm-hmm.
right? So that was my first interview, first round of
Mm-hmm.
interview. And then in the second round, basically, since I had a project on a video streaming platform,
Mm-hmm.
so basically that's why they asked me one HLD question. The question was like this: that if you actually build the front end of this video streaming app, basically I have only built the back end and then showed in my resume.
Mm-hmm.
So basically they asked me, how will you get the video from the back end?
Mm-hmm.
So like they were not like they were actually looking for the chunk by chunk fetching of the
Mm-hmm.
video.
Mm-hmm.
So this was the discussion, and this was the first part of my interview into second round. And then in the later part they asked me questions from OS, like the virtual memory and all.
Mm-hmm.
And I still I think that that was the USP in my
Mm-hmm.
entire interview round,
Mm-hmm.
that how I tackled the HLD question.
Mm-hmm.
So that's about it, my
Got it. So, but
interview.
did they ask the HLD question, the system design questions, to any other candidates, if you know? Okay.
Yes. They asked, but they were not asking random questions.
Mm-hmm.
Like they were asking whatever you mentioned in the resume,
Right.
right? So they were actually, so that's why resume. You have to be honest with your
Mm-hmm.
resume.
Right.
You should know everything that you are putting in the resume,
Mm-hmm.
right? And also one suggestion from my side, like put all the things that you know about the concepts.
Mm-hmm.
Don't put additional things, like
Mm-hmm.
don't have a FOMO and put everything in the
Right.
resume.
Right.
It's very important to show what you know,
Mm-hmm.
not what everyone should know.
Mm-hmm.
So that's about the resume part. So they were not asking random questions.
Mm-hmm.
They were basically following your resume and then asking the questions that how would you handle this, how would you handle that.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So that was the typical structure of
Got
the
it. Got
interview.
it. So, as you said, you didn't have Java in your resume.
No, no.
Still, they asked it, and
Yeah.
even Morgan Stanley is more focused. Even their tech stack is more based on Java.
Hmm.
So, what exactly do you think? Was the important factor here? Was it because your interview went well, or was it because you are someone who can be trained well to switch to a new domain,
Hmm.
or what exactly you feel? Because generally a company does not hire someone you know who is not actually relevant to their tech stack,
Hmm.
or the tech stack that the team is using. So what exactly do you think here?
Okay, so basically, I think that in the first round, like overall, the interview went well,
Mm-hmm.
like till the point they went on to Java. I think that they were looking for the portion that whether the candidate can acquire the new skills.
Right.
I think that's the point,
Mm-hmm.
because they didn't ask me, well, what is like interface in Java.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't ask me that. They didn't. They asked me what is immutability.
Mm-hmm.
like in general, what is
Mhm.
immutability? So basically, they were looking for how you approach a new situation or a
Right.
new question.
Right.
So I think they were looking for a candidate who
Mhm.
actually can approach a new question,
Mhm.
and he or she can solve it in a like very stipulated amount of time.
Mhm.
I think that was they what they were looking for.
Got it. Got
Yeah.
it. So this is very, very important,
It's
and
very important.
like even for they actually, I'm quite surprised they did not ask you these things in the behavioral rounds, but they actually implemented something like this practically and got to know the answer from you.
Yes, yes, yes. Like they were not expecting me to know what is
Mm-hmm.
immutability, but like I answered it in a very, very vague way,
Mm-hmm.
right? But they, in fact, after that, after me answering, they explained me, okay, so this is immutability.
Mm-hmm.
Can you implement it
Mm-hmm.
in your language only?
Mm-hmm.
So then I implemented it,
Mm-hmm.
and then the interviewer said ki, okay, we are satisfied with
Right.
this.
Right.
So they were basically they were looking for how
Mm-hmm.
you tackle new things,
Mm-hmm.
because of course you will not work in a same team forever
Mm-hmm.
in your
Right.
journey. So you have to adapt to new technologies, new
Mm-hmm.
tech stacks.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's what they were looking for.
Also,
Yeah.
one quick question, Ronak.
Hmm.
Were you using the same resume that we were, working upon?
Yes, 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 I
Which
submitted my application with that
Acha,
resume
acha.
itself. Yeah.
Got it, got it.
Hmm.
So, everyone we till now have had the, opportunity to explore what Ronak went through during his interview process and how he got the Morgan Stanley job offer. So now for the big surprise that I talked about in the initial phase of the interview. So Ronak is one of our mentors here at Interview Call. So Ronak, very very happy and proud to have you here
Thank
with
you.
us in
Thank
the
you.
team.
Yeah.
Ronak, what do you feel about the full stack web development program and the job switch program that we are currently working upon? I would like to know it from you as well.
Basically, the full stack program is like you will be trained, like whoever comes onto the platform will be trained completely as a web developer. And it's not a solely as a web developer. It would consist, of course, it would begin with MERN stack itself, then moving on to DevOps as well. I think this is a criteria which actually will divide you from others. Whether you are switching jobs or whether you are in the entry level jobs,
Mm-hmm.
I think DevOps, like of course MERN stack is important, but having the background of DevOps also, like
Right,
it's very important. Also, there will also be AI
right,
integration.
right.
Yeah, so AI integration will also be there, and these are basically AI is of course trendy in this market,
Mm-hmm.
and integrating in your project and specifying it in your resume
Mm-hmm.
actually improves your background,
Mm-hmm.
so that recruiters will of course pay attention in it.
Mm-hmm.
Also in the program, you will be trained in a stipulated amount of time.
Mm-hmm.
So there will be four modules basically. So first of all, first will be the web development module, and of course first will be the DSA module.
Right.
You will be trained in the DSA module, then the web development
Mm-hmm.
module, then of course system design.
Mm-hmm.
Again, it's a very very important factor right now, because like 2 years or 3 years ago, it
Mm-hmm.
was not a very thing
Right.
that recruiters were expecting from the freshers.
Mm-hmm.
But now LLD, HLD, like not advanced, but still uh, you
Foundation level.
yes, foundation level
Mm-hmm.
exactly. So it's expected from like everyone right now
Mm-hmm.
in the market, that you have to have a background in uh, HLD and LLD.
Mm-hmm.
Of course these three modules, and also there will be a soft skills module
Mm-hmm.
which will we be trained by a very highly skilled
Right.
professional.
Right.
So that will be very very important, because communication plays a part in your interview.
Mm-hmm.
Like even if you are unsure about a question, but the way you present it,
Mm-hmm.
it actually plays a role in
Right.
how you whether you are selected or not.
Mm-hmm.
So that's very important. So these are the four modules that will be there. Basically apart from that, the thing that will be you will be have a 4 month placement assistance.
Mm-hmm.
So basically where in the previous, as you said,
Mm-hmm.
like you provided the resume
Right.
and then we were to apply.
Right.
But here you guys don't have to apply, of course. There will be prior to the 4 months placement assistance,
Mm-hmm.
there will be a evaluation
Mm-hmm.
of all the candidates that will be enrolled. Based on the evaluation, the platform will only take on your behalf, will apply to various companies.
Right.
So that like you don't have to take the stress of applying to various companies.
Mm-hmm.
And of course the your
The hiring
partners that are,
partners.
yes, hiring partners, they will of course will provide the uh,
Direct
direct
interview calls.
interview calls to those. And so this is a very unique thing, that you don't have to take the stress of actually going and searching and applying and all.
Mm-hmm.
So basically you have to be trained well.
Mm-hmm.
So you have to focus on that, rest you can leave upon us, right? So you have to, of course you have to give your 100% commitment to this,
Mm-hmm.
to be trained properly here.
Mm-hmm.
So I think
Right. Right, Ronak.
that's very you don't have to take any stress about searching for companies,
Mm-hmm.
going through 10 other platforms, and
Mm-hmm.
then so basically you have to focus on learning and learning only.
Mm-hmm.
Rest we will do. So that's
Even
great.
I have seen a lot of candidates. We used to hold sessions, live sessions, right, at night. And in
Yes.
that session, even we used to tell how exactly the market works,
Yeah.
how exactly resume works, how exactly is the entire process in the back end. Even then, a lot of students, tried the things, tried the strategies for a day or a couple of days,
Hmm.
and then they got bored of it. So that's when we realized that no, these people won't be taking a stress on applying for
Yeah.
jobs, or reaching out to the people who
People, yeah.
are responsible for giving them interview calls. So we have to take it on our own
Hmm.
and help the students this way, that the company is applying for them, they don't
Hmm.
have to apply on their own. And we are there to help them get interview calls, we are there to help them train upskill in that particular domain. They
Hmm.
just have to be dedicated, they
Yeah.
just have to do what we say and just set for the interview calls and get the offers. So also, Ronak, one more thing, what
Hmm.
about your fellow instructors and mentors, like if you can
Oh,
tell a
yeah,
little
yeah,
bit
yeah,
about them.
definitely. Basically, we have onboarded a lot of very highly skilled and very highly back. They have a very, of course, a long tenure of experience and also a great experience. Like one of them is from Meta London.
Right.
Yeah, one of them has switched from TCS to, I think,
Amazon,
Amazon.
then.
Yeah, it's from TCS to Amazon through, and also in, I think, Amazon, you said,
Right. So they switched from TCS to Amazon, then to Microsoft, then
yeah,
to Meta London.
then to Meta London, of course. So they have a vast experience. And of course jobs like a one who has switched from multiple companies and
Mhm.
grown his career,
Mhm.
they have been onboarded to help others. So I think that's a very great background all the
Right.
instructors are having. So yeah, so I
Right.
think one of them is also working in Microsoft Seattle,
Right,
as you
right,
said.
right. Microsoft
Yeah,
Seattle, then
yeah,
we have from Google USA,
yeah, yeah,
Apple
Google
USA.
USA,
So
yeah.
everywhere in the world, the
Yes.
major places, the major tech cities, we have everyone right now.
Hmm.
Only we are looking forward to someone from Netflix. So if someone is watching from Netflix, you can
Of course.
definitely come and be in the team. So yeah, Ronak, once again, happy to have you in the team. Happy to have you here with us in this entire program, in this entire venture. So hope we will do great in the coming months and years.
Definitely.
So thank you once again, Ronak.
Yeah.
Thank you for coming, and we will see you all here at interviewcall.club. So if you're not getting interview calls, definitely go and visit interviewcall.club. And till then, stay happy, stay healthy, and bye bye. Once again, thank you, Ronak.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you for